up against me, they stumbled and fell. Israel, our enemy shall fall. It's war time. Take back our kingdom. Take back our crown.
Israelite, they shiver. See, I'ma walk the footprints of my fathers. When you come to serve the Lord, it's best a man up or don't bother. Pay attention. We're part of the rebirth of our nation. Out of diligence to patience. I could have faked it till I made it. But why I lose the chance to rule this earth with his greatness? See, that's what you call a patriot. A young Caleb in the making. See, I don't want to die with cowards. So I'm taking this as David did Goliath.
Yo, the man, we gonna leave the heathens rule over us? How long shall we stick to the bottom, Israel? We gotta take back our nationality, our crown. This is ours. The world is ours.
Test. Isaiah chapter 4 and verse 1. And in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name, to take away our reproach.
All right, so starting out here, it says, in that day. In that day. Now, historically, Isaiah is prophesying about Babylon. That's the historical context of what this is talking about. But when you read the Most High's words, it's never, I say, one layer. What is it? Job 11:6. Get that real quick. We'll show you that it's, some scriptures we read are twofold, threefold, fourfold. It's multiple levels of understanding. They all mean the same thing, but you can bring it out different ways. Read that, Job 11:6.
Job chapter 11 and verse 6.
He's too low.
Job chapter 11 and verse 6.
There we go.
And that he would shew thee the secrets of wisdom.
The secrets of wisdom, of his word. What are they?
That they are double to that which is.
So when we read the Bible, we read scriptures, they are double to that which is. And all of us that come in at different stages in this truth, or that Lord pours out different understanding upon us, that sometimes we might only understand it twofold. Some brothers might be able to expound on it fourfold. Things of that nature. But all these scriptures, the wisdom of this Bible is double to that which we know. So go back to Isaiah 4 and 1. We'll show you how this is double to what is written. Historically, it's speaking about when Babylon came and besieged Israel. That's historically what Isaiah is prophesying about. So let's see the second fold of it. Read verse 1 again.
Isaiah chapter 4 and verse 1. And in that day.
In that day. Go to Zechariah 14 and 1. Let's show you the prophetic part of it. In that day. What does Isaiah mean when he says in that day? He's speaking of something very particular. Go ahead.
Zechariah chapter 14 and verse 1. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh.
The what?
The day of the Lord cometh.
That day is the day of the Lord. Read on.
And thy spoil shall be divided in the midst of thee. For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be taken, and the houses rifled, and the women ravished, and half of the city shall go forth into captivity.
All right, so what we're reading about there is in that day is when the second coming of the Lord's destruction comes. In that day, he's going to gather all the nations. We see that coming to play right in front of our eyes with all this stuff going on in NATO and all over the world. And this world news going on. That's why I put out an order for all leadership, and I advise you brothers to do this too. Download a world news app on your phone. I'm not talking about the 6 o'clock news app here. I'm talking about world news, stuff like BBC and RT News, or what are some other ones? I can't think. Al Jazeera. Those are some world news. So you can know what's going on around the world, and you'll be able to see it like, oh, dang, I read it in the Bible. Then you understand how close we are to the end. So in that day, that's what the Most High, he's gathering all those nations up right now. So go back to Isaiah 4 and 1 again.
Isaiah chapter 4 and verse 1. And in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name, to take away our reproach.
Because once again, this destruction is going to come. And let's see. Go to Isaiah 13. Why would 7 women be asking 1 man? This is just a number right here. Isaiah 13 and read verse 12. Read verse 11 and 12.
Yes, sir. Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 11.
Go down to 13.
And I will punish the world for their evil.
For their what?
Their evil. And the wicked for their iniquity. And I will cause the arrogance of the proud to cease. And will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. And I will make a man more precious than fine gold.
He's going to make what?
I will make a man more precious than fine gold.
God's going to kill a lot of Negroes and Hispanics. Because they just want to be niggas. Okay, well, I'm going to kill you off. And then all these women that want to fall in line, that 1 man, he's going to take as many as he wants to, because a man will be more precious than fine. Not going to be that many of y'all around here. Not going to be that many that want to repent. Read on.
Even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir.
When is he going to do that?
Therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place, and the wrath of the Lord of hosts, and in the day of his fierce anger.
In the what?
In the day of his fierce anger.
Go back to Isaiah 4 now.
Isaiah chapter 4 and verse 1. And in that day 7 women shall take hold of 1 man.
When that destruction comes a second time, go ahead.
Saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. In that day,
he's mentioning it again. Read on.
Shall the branch of the Lord be beautiful and glorious, and the fruit of the earth shall be excellent and comely for them that are escaped of Israel.
So we understand now that the branch of the Lord is not beautiful and glorious. Not at all. We are decrepit, decayed, estate-looking people. That's why we have to be restored back to our original glory. And that's what you see right now. The sisters come in here looking like princesses on the Sabbath. They walk around looking like princesses all the time. You brothers are looking like the princes of God, how he created you to be. Your dress code's changing, your appearance is changing, the way you talk, you walk. You're starting to conform into how a prince would act. No longer are you being a nigger and a niggette. Your conversation ain't the same as everybody else. That's why you be like, hey, dude, you don't care how many points LeBron had? No, I'm a prince. I'm tired of worrying about that. That's beneath me. That's the mind state you got to have. So we ain't there yet. We will get there in that day. Read verse 3.
Isaiah chapter 4.
No, stop right there. Go to 1 Timothy 2. Let's show you how we ain't got there yet. Yeah. Read that. 1 Timothy 2 and 9. Show you how it ain't beautiful. Branch of the Lord. Go ahead.
1 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 9. In like manner also, that women adorn themselves in modest apparel.
Do women walk around in modest apparel when you go to Walmart? Nah. Nah. If it was a perv out there that didn't want to pay for X-rated videos, he just go to Walmart and sit. Right. Sit on the bench and watch them videotape them, walk through. Sam's Club, wherever the hell you want to go, the mall, all of that stuff. So our women are not beautiful in the way that God, beautiful and glorious as he intended them. Go to Isaiah 60 and 12. This is how we know we haven't gotten to that day where you can have as many women as you want to. Like some camps out here teach, you know, you can have as many as you want to, ain't got no marriage papers with none of them according to the law. Not at all. But they got a whole bunch of women calling them wives. No, you are a side piece that lives in the house. Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 60 and verse 12. For the nation and kingdom that would not serve thee shall perish. Yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted.
So we ain't got to that point either. Jump over to verse 21 now.
Isaiah chapter 60 and verse 21. Thy people also shall be all righteous.
Are all of our people righteous, brothers? No, not at all. Read on.
They shall inherit the land forever. The branch of my planting, the work of my hands, that I may be glorified.
All right, go back to Isaiah 4 now. And let's read verse 3. So we know our people are not beautiful and glorious Our sisters are not beautiful and glorious as God intended them, as a nation. Not as a nation. Read verse 3 now.
Isaiah chapter 4 and verse 3. And it shall come to pass that he that is left in Zion and he that remaineth in Jerusalem shall be called holy, even every one that is written among the living in Jerusalem.
What's another word for being holy that we just read in Isaiah 60, brothers? Righteous. Exactly right. So let's go to, let's see if I want to read verse 4. Read verse 4.
Isaiah chapter 4 and verse 4. When the Lord shall have washed away the filth of the daughters of Zion.
That has not happened at all. He has not washed away the filth. Read on.
And shall have purged the blood of Jerusalem from the midst thereof by the spirit of judgment and by the spirit of burning.
Go to Baruch 4 and 6. I'll show you where we at right now. Why you can't walk around with as many women as you want to. Not until all those prophecies come to pass in that day. Baruch, what I say?
4 and 6.
Yeah, read that.
Baruch chapter 4 and verse 6. Ye were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because ye moved God to wrath. Ye were delivered unto the enemy.
Is that it on that?
Yes, sir.
Read it again.
Baruch chapter 4 and verse 6. Ye were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because ye moved God to wrath, you were delivered unto the enemy.
So basically what God is telling you is that you own punishment. You own punishment. You can't have everything that you want like a good good son of God would have. So therefore, being on punishment, you are restrained to this. 1 Timothy 3 and 1. Let's go. 1 Timothy 3 and 1. So since you are on punishment, you were sold to the nations because you made God mad. Therefore, you have to fall up under this.
1 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 1. This is a true saying. If a man desire the office of a bishop.
What's another word for a bishop, brothers? Leader. Exactly right. And you don't have a choice in the matter to be a leader. If you was called in here right now, Jeremiah says, I've known you before I formed you in the womb. I called you here to be a prophet. I called you here to be a leader of the people. So you don't have a choice in the matter. You're going to be a leader one way or another. A bishop, he desireth a good work. Read on.
A bishop then must be blameless, the husband of one wife.
So what do we have to fall up under right now? The husband of one wife, because we are on punishment right now. Now go to Psalms 149. So when that day comes, on the flip side, after all of that, what is the reward for a man that endures to the end? I know young women don't like to hear this. But thus saith the Lord. A lot of y'all, that's why a lot of y'all, you ain't gonna have no attitude in the kingdom. No, you will not. Psalms 149 and 1.
Psalms.
You gonna fall in line. Yes, my Lord. Yes, my Lord.
That's right.
Anything. What do you? What's it?
Anything you like.
Anything. Whatever you like. Whatever you like.
That's right.
That's all gonna come out your mouth. What you think I should do today? Whatever you like. Should I punish the Edomites or the Elamites? Whatever you like. Both, my Lord, if I may say anything. Psalm 149 and 1.
Psalms chapter 149 and verse 1. Praise ye the Lord.
Praise ye the Lord.
Sing unto the Lord a new song, and his praise in the congregation of saints. Let Israel rejoice in him that made him.
And this is why Israel's going to rejoice. Now he's going to start pinpointing why Israel's going to rejoice. Read on.
Let the children of Zion be joyful in their king.
Because your king is going to deliver you. Who's the king, brothers?
Right.
There we go. Read on.
Let them praise his name in the dance. Let them sing praises unto him with the timbrels and harps.
So when you get to the kingdom, for all you sisters that used to be on the praise team in Christianity, the Lord's going to tell you exactly how you dance to be joyful. You ain't gonna be doing that whole.
Hey, they paint their face white.
Yeah.
With long white robes and white gloves, miming and
You ain't gonna be doing all of that.
with Fred Hammond playing on the radio.
You ain't gonna be dancing like that in the kingdom. Nah. Read verse 3 here.
Psalms chapter 149 and verse 3. Let them praise his name in the dance. Let them sing praises unto him with the timbrel and harp.
So you ain't gonna be singing, what's this, we was listening on the way here this morning.
Something about the teeth.
You ain't gonna be singing that. The top 25 contemporary gospel songs. You ain't gonna be singing that. Something about the sweet. You ain't gonna be singing that.
Hell
No, no, no. You sing that stuff, you're gonna be put to death, I guarantee you. Because you try to bring back Christianity, white Jesus. Read verse 4.
Psalms 149 and verse 4. For the Lord taketh pleasure in his people. He will beautify the meek with salvation. Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds.
Let them do what?
Sing aloud upon their beds.
Now, it's only a few things that you do when you're in the bed. I want to let y'all know that. It's only a few things, especially us men, that we do in the bed.
Bring it up.
Let's go to the next. Let's go. Why are we going to be singing on our beds? Give me Psalms 144, verse 12. Let me show you why we're going to be singing.
Psalms chapter 144 and verse 12. That our sons may be as plants growing up in their youth, that our daughters may be as cornerstones, polished after the similitude of a palace.
Hold on, the women in the kingdom are going to be like what?
Polished after the similitude of a palace.
They're going to be built like palaces. Gloriful like palaces. I'll be singing upon my bed too in that day. Beautiful.
Hey, our sister's gonna be bad, man.
Cold. Y'all already beautiful. Y'all sisters already beautiful, but y'all gonna be on a whole nother level of beautiful. Like when you walk in the door, all the heathen gonna stop.
Hey, because remember, we read in Isaiah 4, the Most High cursed our sisters.
Yeah.
And they still bad today.
Yeah.
So just imagine how they gonna look at the king.
That's spiritual beauty.
Goodness gracious.
That's a whole nother level. The Lord gonna teach, He gonna teach us to teach you. You got your head? No. Don't put your head wrapped like that. The author of beauty said, don't do it like that. Do it this way. Make it stack it 2-3 stories high.
We get a glimpse of it through our foremother Judith.
Yeah, through
How
Judah.
Other nations wanted to put us to death.
Yeah, they said we got to kill all of these brothers and take all these women. So that's why we're gonna be singing upon our beds. We're gonna have women built like palaces. Go to Psalms 128:1 now. You sisters want to get to that point, you better fall in line right now. Prove yourself worthy to the Lord that He can even give you that beauty and that rest when you got servants throwing rose petals at your feet when you walk around. You ain't gotta find a baby, you ain't gotta go to work no more. You ain't gotta cook no more. You ain't gotta worry about beating the sun down because you got, Fu Wong and Justin and Amber and ZDB and Muhammad Nah. You got all of them doing all your work. You just resting, waiting, just sitting there looking pretty. You got slaves fanning you. Keep you cool. But you gotta fall in line now. Psalms 128:1.
Psalms chapter 128 and verse 1. Blessed is everyone that feareth the Lord, that walketh in his ways.
That's how you know you're blessed, when you fear the Most High. That means to keep His commandments. Go ahead.
For thou shalt eat the labor of thine hands. Happy shalt thou be, and it shall be well with thee.
Happy,
Thy wife shall be as a fruitful vine.
Hold on, thy what?
Thy wife shall be as a fruitful vine by the sides of thine house.
It's fruitful. What does he mean by fruitful? Go to jump up to Psalms 127:3.
Psalms chapter 127 and verse 3. Lo, children are an heritage of the Lord. and the fruit of the womb is his reward.
Now go back to Psalms 128 and verse 3.
Psalms chapter 128 and verse 3. Thy wife shall be as a fruitful
We're
vine.
gonna have a whole lot of kids, and we're gonna show you how many. And one woman just can't do that, because we'll read it here in the next precept. But it said they're gonna be fruitful by the size of thine house. Read on.
Thy children like olive plants round about thy table.
Mm-hmm.
Behold, that thus shall the man be blessed that feareth the Lord. The Lord shall bless thee out of Zion, and thou shalt see the good of Jerusalem all the days of thy life.
That's eternal life. Go ahead.
Yea, thou shalt see thy children's children, and peace upon Israel.
So he's talking about the kingdom to come, right? Go to Isaiah 60 now. This is the last precept on this. Isaiah 60. We're going to be fruitful, right? This is how fruitful that the women are going to be. 60, and I want to read verse 22.
Isaiah chapter 60 and verse 22. A little one shall become a thousand.
A little one's going to what?
Shall become 1,000.
How can one become 1,000? You know how that is? You're going to have a lot of women. You're going to be laying upon your bed. You're going to be resting. And you're going to be popping out kids left and right. Because the women are going to be fruitful. And it's going to take a lot of women to get up to 1,000 kids. Yeah, I mean, I'm on 742. How many you got? 650. Because you ain't going to have nothing else to do. Maybe you think I'm lying.
Hey,
I don't know.
I got a question for the man.
Go ahead.
Man, why is it that we're going to have all these children? I want to know who's thinking. Why is it that we're going to have to have all these children? Brother DM.
Shalom. Replenish the kingdom. Bring back the nation.
Bring back the nation.
That's right. Because how many is going to return to the kingdom, brothers? 1/3. Another word for that starts with an R. The remnant. Very few is going back. So the Most High got to build back up the nation. How's he going to do it? It ain't going to be that many of y'all around there, remember? You got to get to work. They ain't got no problem with that work. Isaiah, let me show you that you ain't going to be doing nothing. Isaiah chapter 60 and verse 9. Read that. This is how they're going to become 1,000. You ain't got nothing to do.
Isaiah chapter 60 and verse 9. Surely the owl shall wait for me, and the ships of Tarshish first, to bring thy sons from far, their silver and their gold with them, unto the name of the Lord thy God, and to the Holy One of Israel, because he hath glorified thee. And the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls.
So you won't be building up nothing. You're going to be telling people to build stuff. They ain't not going to tell you when to clock in no more. You're going to tell them when to clock in. We don't.
And their kings shall minister unto thee.
So that means Putin going to be a servant until we do away with all of them. Trump going to be a servant until we do away with all of them. Becky Ann, Miss Laura, all of them. They going to be servants until the Lord say, all right, they built enough. Put them all to death. That's why it says in Obadiah, there shall be none remaining of the house of Esau. Once they done serve they servitude, because they ain't getting off it easy. It'd be easy just him come back, kill him off. That'd be easy. No, he said, I'm going to kill you. Wake you back up. Make you serve servitude, and then I'm going to kill you again. Ain't no time. We don't know how long that's going to be. I hope it's a long ass time. Hold on, let me finish reading this. Verse 10 again.
Isaiah chapter 60 and verse 10. And the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercy on thee.
Read on.
Therefore thy gates shall be open continually. They shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles.
That means the wealth of the Gentiles. Read on.
And that their kings may be brought.
So in the meantime that the gates are open, coming in left and right, you're going to be laying upon your bed singing. Jump over to verse 22, doing this.
Isaiah chapter 60 verse 22. A little one shall become 1,000.
You're going to be working on getting up to 1,000. Read on.
And a small one, a strong nation.
Read on.
I, the Lord, will hasten it in his time.
In his what?
in his time.
That time is not now, brothers. God gave you that one wife, you better treat her good, for you don't get the benefit, you don't get the reward of enduring to the end, loving your wife as you love yourself. Treat the daughter of God good. I'll let y'all know this. Y'all will still be the first one on the list, okay? So you be the first one on the list, all right? We read that in, what's that, Mark. We read that in Mark, okay? You be the first one on the list. Go back to Isaiah 4:1. But you want to catch spirits. You know. Now you don't have to take, it says 7 here. You don't have to take 7. You might just love up on anything. No, I'm good with 1. You don't have to have 50. You can have 22, 25, whatever it be. They don't set number on that. But read Isaiah 4:1 again.
Isaiah chapter 4 and verse 1. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man.
Now jump down to verse 2.
In that day.
So that's talking about in the future, when the kingdom comes. That's not right now. So you better keep your stuff with your wife and love your wife joyfully all the days of thy life and be ravished with her love. Go ahead, Officer.
Let me get Isaiah chapter 49. Isaiah chapter 49 real quick.
I know all you brothers, y'all gonna be getting questioned in the car. Do you want more than one?
Not now. In captivity, more than one is too much.
Do you really want more?
Right. It's,
oh man.
hey, but ain't gonna be no more stress. So you be able to do it. Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 49 and verse 23.
This goes until Officer bringing out about how our wives gonna have children. Read that.
And kings shall be thy nursing fathers, and their queens thy nursing mothers.
So you gonna have all them kids, and you ain't gotta worry about chasing them around, putting on diapers. You ain't gotta worry about getting a headache every day with your kids.
Right.
Scripture said that these kings and queens of the other nations gonna have to be babysitters.
That's what it is. Nursing mothers mean babysitters.
Ain't that glorious though?
What was Trump's way?
Some of them don't. Hey, no, I'm gonna tell you this right now. It's about 87.8% over there. Be like, to hell with that. I'll take that as long as ain't nobody else got it. Right now. They'll be like, to hell with that.
Hey, all praise. That's all I want to know. That I know it's more.
All praise. All right. So, question is, that's when the kingdom comes. Not right now. Let's see.
Shalom, Israel. I'm Elder Nathaniel, Israel United in Christ. YouTube likes to shut our channels down, as some of you have noticed, ever so often. Subscribing to join IUIC will assure you will always stay connected to our YouTube accounts. We want to do our best to make sure this truth gets out. Please click and join our subscriber YouTube channel called Join IUIC to stay linked to all of our videos. So again, please make sure you subscribe to this Join IUIC channel to get your latest updates from all our YouTube channels. Shalom.